Another short video from Sheshnar Yoga Center. The subject of this one is selfless service possible? It's only my interpretation of things, and it's debatable, and I look forward to any feedback. So I'll give you my thoughts on the subject. I've been around a lot of people, and they loosely throw around the term selfless service in the Sanskrit context known as Seva. I have been observing people and myself and come to realize that I personally do not believe that selfless service is possible. I do believe that selfless service is possible in the sense that, according to the organic framework of being a human and the understanding that some people have, that they are encapsulated within the skin and they have a fatalistic approach to life, I believe that service to that being can be overcome. I believe that the majority of people that do understand themselves to be separate to everyone and unconscious that they are functioning in a dualistic experience within a three-dimensional reality, predominantly please themselves through what is known as the five physical senses. The big question is self-identity. I firmly believe that irrespective of how you interpret yourself, then you as a person work primarily towards the benefit of that self. I'll give you some examples. I hope you understand, and if not, please feel free to contact me or comment. The first one I see is what I've just mentioned. The being that understands not much, but mainly function in life in a way that they know themselves to be not connected to anyone in any sense more than maybe related through blood or genetics, or maybe they identify a bit outside themselves sometimes when they celebrate other things. So let's say I am a being that understands myself to be encapsulated in the skin. I predominantly work according to my own beliefs and values to create pleasing experiences that benefit myself, which I experience through my five physical senses. Say I like to eat sweet food, then on occasion I indulge in sweet food because it's pleasing to me. Say I like to do art. It's not a real good example because artists, majority of them, actually are so influenced by their right side of their brain that it would be hard to have a separate identity as an artist. But let's just say I am an artist. I do a lot of art which pleases me, and then I sell my art at a price which gives me a sense of self-belonging and self-gratification, that I, the painter, am a certain stature and ability, and my ego is gratified, or my self-identity is gratified. Say for instance my identity goes outside my skin and it involves genetics. Perhaps my family, my immediate family. I work as a person all day, not all day, but a majority of it, and I work towards the benefit of my immediate family by providing them a house, food, transport, and insurance to protect all the things that I physically identify with. Say it goes outside my genetics and I have adopted or foster children. Then my psychological identification with the people that are not genetically related to me are included in my mind as family. So I work for their benefit too. Then it might go outside to include my neighbours and the street that I live in. If there is some sort of event that causes pain to my neighbours and they need help in any way, then I can assist them. Maybe at the end of the year I have a Christmas party that involves my neighbours, and in a way I am gratified because my neighbours have a good time at the party. Then we go outside the local environment and we go to the bigger environment, perhaps a city or a town. If there are people in our town that are homeless or need help in some way, then depending on how I identify with my town, then I can go and maybe participate in a working bee that provides the opportunity for enhancement of that community or town. If, for instance, I live in a state and I identify with that state, if there is a natural disaster in that state, then I work for the benefit of that state, because I personally have a self-identity that involves the geological place where I live and the state in which I reside. So if I go one bigger, I go to a geographical landmass or continent separated into certain parts, and that's called my country. Say there's a war, then if I identify strongly with that country, then I represent that country and fight for the value and belief system of that country. Then, if it goes bigger, once again, it goes to perhaps a global identity. So, instead of identifying with a nation, a state, a town, or a family, I identify with the human race on the planet. So then I work for the benefit of all humans on the planet. That, in a way, gives me self-fulfillment and creates for me, within myself, a sense of self-belonging, because I have assisted the people I identify with in the form of human beings, and their benefit gratifies myself in a way that pleases me. Say, for instance, it goes outside me being a human and it involves the planet. Then I work towards the benefit of all life on the planet. So in a sense, my identification as an earthling may involve me protecting a dragonfly or a wasp or a rabbit or any animal or life being, such as a forest, that is a part of my identity. Say it goes outside the planet, and I understand that there is a universal war of consciousness, and I identify myself on either the side that wants to keep everyone separate and animalistic and fearful, or I identify with the side that wants to provide knowledge to do with the unification of reality and the true sense of being. If I identify with the dark side or the separate side, then I work towards manipulation of the masses, and I try to create fear within them, which creates the impulse of self-gratification. When this happens and the masses are influenced, then my identity is gratified. If I identify with the light side and I work towards unification and I work towards self-growth and introspection, then when people enhance their understanding of the self, and at times when the penny drops and people grow as beings towards understanding their true potential, then I, as a person, am gratified. If I am told to work towards the benefit of everyone and everything, then that includes both extremes of the same spectrum. Hopefully, I can embrace all identities throughout the spectrum or throughout the different dimensions of life and work towards self-benefit on many levels. Okay, so I will leave it at that. Hopefully it's understandable in some way. If not, that's cool. You know the deal. Contact me. We'll talk about it in a way that maybe you can relate to it or understand it. And I don't come across as so much of a space cadet. But keep in mind, Sheshnag Yoga Center represents the yoga type of Gyan or Jnana Yoga, which is the experience of yoga through intuitive perception. A part of this intuitive perception is objectiveness and self-reflection. So good luck, and let me know what you think. Try not to be too critical, and peace to everyone. Thanks.